This move by Sean Combs was not unexpected. His lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, had said they would appeal two judges' rulings denying Sean Combs bail.
His resolve is the same. He believes he's innocent. I believe he's innocent. And we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight any longer.
Look, our investigation is ongoing. We are committed to bringing justice to everyone who's been victimized by the defendant. I can't tell you why it took so long.
Can you believe it, loves? Just when we thought Diddy's legal saga couldn't get any more explosive, he drops a bombshell in court that has everyone's jaws on the floor. With his back against the wall and facing some seriously heavy charges, Diddy decided to go all in. And let me tell you, this unexpected twist has the prosecutors running around like headless chickens. Now, I know what you're thinking. Could this be the Hail Mary pass that saves Diddy from spending the rest of his days behind bars? Or is it the final nail in his diamond-studded coffin? Let's break it down. Remember when Diddy was on top of the world? He was so untouchable, he probably thought he could walk on water. But oh, how the mighty have fallen. Now he's in full-on panic mode, taking some seriously desperate measures that would make even a reality TV star say, whoa, that's too much? Get this, Diddy just hired Alexander Shapiro, the same lawyer who represented that infamous fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried. You know, the guy behind the whole FTX crypto collapse? Yeah, that one. Shapiro's already batting for Bankman-Fried, who's serving a cool 25-year sentence for his multi-billion-dollar oopsie. Now Diddy's hoping Shapiro can work some legal magic for him too. But wait, it gets even weirder. Diddy and Bankman-Fried are now roomies in Brooklyn's notorious Metropolitan Detention Center. Talk about an unlikely duo. I bet their late-night chats are wild. So, how'd you lose your empire? Oh, you know, the usual crypto fraud. You, sex trafficking and racketeering. Pass the prison pudding, will you?
Well, Diddy is not giving up, even before he gets to the trial, he's not giving up on trying to get out of jail. You know that he has been turned down twice.
That's right, besties. Diddy's legal dream team is fighting tooth and nail to get him out on bail. But here's the tea. It's not looking good. You see, when you appeal a decision like this, there's a super specific legal standard that needs to be met. It's not about whether the decision was right or wrong. The real question is, did the judge abuse their discretion? And let me tell you, that's a tough nut to crack. Bail decisions are ultimately up to the trial judge, and they don't take kindly to being second-guessed.
Sean Combs is basically asking the appeals court to overrule two lower court judges and say they made a big mistake by not granting him bail.
Oof. Talk about an uphill battle. The appeals court is like that strict teacher who never changes your grade, no matter how much you beg. They typically show mad respect to the trial judge's interpretation of the evidence. So the chances of them stepping in and saying, oops, the trial judge got it wrong, are slimmer than my chances of giving up gossip. Now let's rewind to last week's pre-trial hearing. Diddy's legal squad made yet another desperate attempt to secure bail, their third shot if you're keeping score at home. But honey, they were not ready for the harsh reality check coming their way. They tried to play it off like the whole bail denial was just because of all the media hype. Can you believe it? They even threw out a $50 million bond offer with strict home detention, hoping it would turn things around. But the judge? He wasn't buying what they were selling. Judge Aaron Subramanian, try saying that 5 times fast, wasted no time reminding everyone that Diddy isn't going anywhere. He made it crystal clear that our boy will be staying put at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where he's been cooling his heels since his arrest on September 16th. It's starting to feel like Diddy's legal team is running out of plays faster than I run out of snacks during a Netflix binge. And with the trial date set for May 5th, the clock is ticking louder than ever. Now, here's where it gets really juicy. Word on the street is that Diddy might have spilled some crucial info that could come back to bite him harder than a hungry shark. And it's not just his own neck on the line, because let's face it, we all know he didn't pull off his alleged shenanigans solo.
Diddy didn't do it alone. Where are all the celebrities and friends that hung around Diddy? Did they really not know all of this information?
Can you imagine the panic sweeping through Diddy's inner circle right now? Those who used to bask in his glory are probably tossing and turning at night, knowing that if Diddy goes down, he might just drag them all down with him. It's like a game of celebrity dominoes, and Diddy's the first to fall. During that same hearing, Diddy's attorney tried to convince the judges to give him a pretrial release. They argued that regardless of the government's untested allegations, the proposed conditions would ensure Diddy shows up to court and keeps the community safe. But guess what? The judges weren't buying it. Diddy's team even played the presumed innocent card, saying he traveled to New York voluntarily, fully aware an indictment was coming. They claimed he took extraordinary measures to show he wasn't going to pull a Houdini and disappear. But again, the court was like, Nice try, but no cigar. They even tried playing the self-harm angle to get Diddy some slack, but oh boy, did that backfire. Right now, he's holed up in the MDC in New York, supposedly under self-harm watch.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs on suicide watch at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after 2 judges denied his request for bail.
But let's be real, it's just routine for high-profile cases like this. No one's buying the damsel in distress act, Diddy. When they realized this could potentially damage Diddy's stay in jail, as if it could get any worse, his lawyer released a statement saying, Mr. Combs is strong, healthy, and focused on his defense. He is committed to fighting this case and has full confidence in both his legal team and the truth. Sure, January now about those charges. They're all connected to Diddy's notorious freak-offs. And let me tell you, these weren't your average after-parties. We're talking hours, even days-long affairs where Diddy allegedly coerced people into compromising acts while recording the whole shebang. The indictment says Diddy pulled out all the stops to satisfy his twisted desires, protect his shiny public persona, and keep those dirty secrets under wraps. But that's not even the worst news for Diddy. His current living situation, let's just say it's a far cry from his luxurious mansions. He's in a place described as downright hellish. A former MDC detainee didn't hold back, calling the conditions inhumane. If you ask me, that sounds like a serious dose of karma.
A lot of them are brought up on pretty heavy federal indictments, right? So just in terms of the atmosphere there, it's just certainly one that no one wants to be in.
Yikes. Detainee advocates and judges have been raising alarm bells about the dangerous, barbaric conditions, rampant violence, and multiple deaths at the MDC. It's so bad that some judges have flat out refused to send people to the only federal lockup in the Big Apple. Diddy's legal team is scrambling to get him moved to a jail in New Jersey, claiming that Brooklyn's MDC is unfit for pretrial detention. And with the conditions he's dealing with, it's easy to see why they're pushing so hard. Picture this. Diddy, locked up in the facility's special housing unit, confined to his cell for up to 23 hours a day under constant watch. His lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, argued that it's standard treatment for high-profile inmates. But that doesn't make things any easier for our fallen music mogul. The kicker? This lockdown at MDC could seriously mess with Diddy's defense strategy. Former inmates have pointed out that being locked down limits contact with legal teams. According to experts like Hamilton, it could make preparing for court a total nightmare.
Look, our investigation is ongoing. We are committed to bringing justice to everyone who's been victimized by the defendant. I can't tell you why it took so long.
In an exclusive interview with Eyewitness News Los Angeles, attorney Gloria Allred, who's representing several of Combs' accusers, shed some light on the atmosphere surrounding this high-profile case. It's really all about power and the misuse of power, Allred explained, making it clear that this case goes far beyond just the allegations. It touches on the wider issues of influence and control in the entertainment industry. Among Allred's clients is Joy Dickerson-Neal, one of the many alleged victims. Dickerson-Neal spoke out about the long-term impact of the alleged assault on her, stating,
"The internal pain after being assaulted has been incredibly deep and hard to put into words."
Even if there are confidential civil settlements, there's always an exception in the law. They can still testify in a court of law.
But hold on to your hats because there's more. There's a growing possibility that Combs' ex-girlfriend, singer Cassie Ventura, could take the stand. This is despite reaching an undisclosed settlement just one day after she filed a lawsuit accusing him of rape and abuse last November. Allred hinted that Ventura's involvement could be pivotal, remarking on the potential for charges against those who attempt to intimidate witnesses.
People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to pursue justice.
Allred even added, sometimes there are criminal charges filed not only against the defendant but also against friends or supporters who threaten a witness. That happened in the R. Kelly case as well. She's drawing comparisons between Diddy's case and other high-profile trials, and let me tell you, it's not looking good for our boy Diddy. As the trial inches closer, the tension surrounding this case and its potential implications continues to rise. Diddy's legal mess is just getting started, and honestly, it's about time his years of power moves start biting biting him in the behind. You'd think after decades of living large, he'd have seen this coming, right? But nope, the fallout is bigger than anyone expected, and now Tony Buzbee, a high-profile Houston attorney, is coming in hot. He's investigating claims from over 3,800 people across the U.S. accusing Diddy of all kinds of wild stuff. We're talking violence, sexual assault, and even, brace yourselves, sexual assault of minors.
I'm a savage! Oh! I'm a savage! Whatever I want, I'm going to get!
Yeah, you heard that right. Diddy sitting in that detention center is probably rethinking all those freaky after parties right about now. But it's not just the feds he has to worry about. Buzbee is ready to hit him with civil suits that could straight up ruin him for good. So far, Buzbee's vetted 120 people, half men, half women, who all have stories to tell. And trust me, these stories aren't pretty. Plus, there are texts, pictures, and videos to back it all up, some of which are already in the hands of the FBI. Yep, the receipts are coming out and it's not looking good for Diddy. And get this, the alleged attacks have been going on for over 25 years. From Manhattan to Miami, from puppy parties, yikes, to New Year's Eve bashes, it's like something out of a Hollywood scandal movie. But this is real life, and it's getting messier by the day. Oh, and if you're wondering, Buzbee's team is still working through 3,200 more claims, so buckle up because things are about to get a whole lot worse for Diddy.
Former warden he's a target. That's the fact of the matter, and that's why they have him in a solitary part of the...
At this point, you've got to wonder, did Diddy really think he could get away with it forever? Well, it looks like he's finding out the hard way that karma doesn't care how famous you are. Diddy better keep his head on a swivel in prison because, according to a former warden at MDC Brooklyn, where he's locked up, there are a lot of inmates who would love to make a name for themselves by taking him out. Cameron Lindsay, who used to run the place, told TMZ that Diddy's status as a high-profile celebrity, mixed with the serious charges against him, has basically put a target on his back. Some inmates might even see taking him down as a badge of honor. Yes, it's that serious. That's why Diddy's being held in the Special Housing Unit, aka Solitary. In there, prison officials can keep a closer eye on him, making sure he's cut off from the general population, which is full of people who wouldn't mind making a quick move on a guy like him. But don't think it's cushy living. His life in the SAU is super regimented. Just 1 hour of rec time per day and a grand total of 3 showers a week. Doesn't exactly scream luxury, does it? Family and friends will be able to visit every now and then, but Cameron Lindsay says even those visits are tough. The SHU is harder to get to and the prison doesn't give it more time for people to hang out. So even if Diddy's crew shows up, he won't get much FaceTime with them. A day in the life of Diddy right now is basically Prison 101. He's getting a 6 a.m. wake-up call, followed by making his bed, mopping the floor, and keeping his cell clean. Just like that, the man who used to run the music world is stuck doing chores like a teenager grounded on the weekend. How the tables have turned. Now let's talk about the courtroom drama. Federal prosecutors fired back hard at Diddy's defense team after Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, accused them of racially profiling the hip-hop mogul. In the recent TMZ documentary, The Downfall of Diddy, Agnifilo claimed that the feds were targeting Diddy because he's a successful black man. He suggested that when they couldn't find anything shady in his business dealings or taxes, they turned their focus to his bedroom. But honey, the prosecutors weren't having it. They shut down those claims as baseless, saying they're not prosecuting him because of his race, but because of the serious charges on the table. And serious they are. We're talking racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, and transporting people for prostitution. Things got even messier when Diddy's legal team asked for a gag order, suggesting that the feds were leaking information from the grand jury to the press, but the judge wasn't having it. He denied the gag order, and both sides agreed to keep their lips sealed with the media moving forward.
If it's found out that that video was actually leaked by law enforcement, that video can be suppressed, but aside from that, the indictment can also be dismissed.
Oh, but wait, there's more. Prosecutors dropped another bomb in court. This investigation is still ongoing and a superseding indictment could be on the way. So if Diddy thought he was in deep trouble now, he might not have seen the worst of it yet. They've been combing through terabytes of electronic data from Diddy's homes in Miami, Los Angeles, and New York for months. And apparently there's more to come. This case is far from over, besties. Now let's talk about Diddy's appearance. When he showed up in court last week, people couldn't help but notice how much thinner he looked, especially in his face. Naturally, the rumor mill started spinning, with folks speculating that jail food, or lack thereof, might be behind the weight loss. Others think the stress of his criminal case is finally catching up with him. Whatever the reason, Diddy's courtroom appearance had everyone talking, and it's not just about the charges.
First time his 6 oldest children, including 17-year-old twins Delilah and Jesse, arrived together to support their dad.
Oh, and get this. Fans are clowning Diddy's family for supporting him during the trial. One person said, "The family is just as guilty as Diddy, period. His mother knew, his children knew, every singer in hip-hop, rap, and pop knew what a monster he is." Another added, "Well, Janet, as your son is a predator, unfortunately, you were aware of his actions. You never intervened or reported to the authorities, allowing his unethical behavior to continue towards his victims." Woo! What a wild ride, right? Diddy's empire is crumbling faster than a sandcastle at high tide, and it seems like everyone's got something to say about it. From his legal troubles to his family drama, it's like watching a real-life soap opera unfold before our eyes. Well, that's all the tea I've got for you today, besties. What do you think about all this Diddy drama? Is justice finally catching up with him, or is there more to the story? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a drop of piping hot celebrity tea. This is Hot Gossip signing off. Remember, in Hollywood, the truth is often stranger than fiction. Stay fabulous, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!